Welcome to today's video everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing day today. I have recently asked you guys on Instagram about 4 video ideas which I had, and I asked which one of those you want to see. And actually a lot of you voted for a what's in my camera bag video. So that's what we are going to do today. So yeah, let's get started I guess, because this video could take quite some minutes to record. Alright, let's start on the outside of the bag. You can see already what type of bag it is. It's a Lower Pro Tactic 450 AW2 or something like that. The name is pretty long. However, it's a Pro Tactic Lower Pro bag. It's my first bag from Lower Pro and I can already really recommend them. I've never had a bag which feels so good in terms of production quality and just the overall feel of it, and it's designed in a very smart way so that it works really good, at least for me. And in addition to that, I really like the Pro Tactic line of the Lower Pro bags. Pro Tactic means that you have the ability to strap on additional things like this bag, and this for the tripod. With the help of those, I don't know what they are called, the Lower Pro has a special name for those. So yeah, I really like that, because with the help of those you can design the bag the way you want it and the way you need it, and because everyone shoots a bit differently and has a different workflow, this can just adapt to whatever you need. In my case, you can find 2 of those straps right here, one on the very top and 2 lines below it. I use these 2 for my tripod, which goes through here with one leg and then into this bag, so it holds in the bag and doesn't like wobble around when the bag is shaking. That's working really good for me. Then here I have sort of a bigger bag where I can put whatever I want. Sometimes I throw my wallet in here or keys. For example, if I have to go get a press vest on the racetrack, then you need to grab your wallet, you have to put it away, you have to grab it again to show your ID and everything. And I have a pretty big wallet, not because I'm rich, but because I have a lot of cards in it. Yeah, this bag is just really good if I have to put something away and grab it again and do this very often. However, I wouldn't use this in a crowded city or generally speaking in a crowded environment, because a talented pickpocket guy could easily grab stuff out of this, so I wouldn't recommend using bags like this when you are in public. Then I've already talked about this one, this is for my tripod. And then here on the side we have another bag which is basically for just putting in something to drink, like a small water bottle and stuff. It's just a basic like bottle holder. Okay, so that's it about the outside of the bag. Let's now go into the inside. Now, something I would really recommend you to be looking out for, which is pretty standard nowadays, but still not on every single bag. Look for bags that aren't accessible from the outside. What do I mean by that? Well, you can't open the bag here to get access to things which are inside. You can open it from the sides and you can open it from the top, but you can't open it right here. This can really help with like protecting your gear from being stolen. How you actually get access to the insides of bags like this is you have to flip it around and then you can open it right where your back is usually. You can, or you have to put your bag down, your backpack down, and open the zipper right here. Okay, the moment everyone has been waiting for. Let's just turn it around like this. Move it a bit more to the center and that's it. So I would say we start with the small things and work our way up to the bigger things. But don't be worried, the small things are pretty interesting too, I think. So we start on top of the bag. Here in this top section I have my battery chargers, which I always have with me because you never know. Sometimes a shoot is taken way longer than you first expected it to be, and then a charger can be really handy. That's why I have 2 of them right here, so I can charge 2 batteries at the same time. There are smaller chargers which are aftermarket, which support the charging of 2 batteries at the same time. I've actually bought one of those, but I've lost it. I have no idea where the fuck it went. So I'm just like using those, yeah, the regular ones which ship with your camera. I'm really bad when it comes to not losing stuff, I guess. Let's move over to this compartment right here. You can see a little bag. If I pull that bag out, we have a Usbc cable, which is just like a regular USB-C 3.0 cable, so I can use it for charging as well as transferring data. The thing below it, as you might have already guessed, is a power bank. If I can get it out, yeah. That's an Anker power bank. I don't know which one it is exactly. And this is really, really, really helpful if you have a GoPro and you're using the GoPro, because the internal battery of the GoPro really lasts for only a very short amount of time. So if I'm shooting my POV street photography videos, or generally any type of video where I have the GoPro strapped to my chest, I use the power bank. Because with the power bank and a big 128 gig SD card in it, I get around 5 to 6 hours of recording time. And that's limited by the SD card, not by the battery. The power bank doesn't give a fuck. And that's just a really nice thing to have. Okay, so on to the next compartment. In here I have a very small, and I would say pretty underrated lens actually. It's the Canon 50mm f, I think it's 1.8? Yeah, 1.8, you can see it right here. The Canon 50mm is also called the Nifty 50. You can get this thing new for $100, I think is the retail price for a new one. And it's actually a pretty dope lens. I can show you some shots I've got with it, just so you can see what it's actually capable of. And that's also a recommendation of mine. If you're starting out with photography, get a 50mm. Like, the Nifty 50 is basically available for every camera brand out there. I know that there's one from Sony, I know that there's one from Canon, and I'm pretty sure that there's also one from Nikon. Moving on to the center part of my backpack. Right in the top compartment here, we have a little bag, which isn't like necessary at all. It just sits there and I use it to store little things like my camera strap now. Sometimes I throw lens caps in there if I have like 2 lenses in use and I want to put the lens caps somewhere where they are stored like properly and not like flying around in my bag, then I put those in here. This is actually something that's pretty interesting, and it's a hard case, waterproof hard case actually for SD cards. Currently pretty empty in there. That's because I have most of my SD cards on at my PC, because I was transferring photos and videos recently. But you can see that you can use it with micro SDs as well as with like full-size SD cards. And that's just a very nice thing to have, and plus it's not that expensive, those things. You can grab it on Amazon, they cost like, I don't know, $15 maybe, so it's really helpful, because especially if you're using micro SDs like I am, so I can use it for the GoPro. It's a really handy thing to have, because it keeps your SD cards all together and you don't lose them. Next thing, it's a little bag. The little bag contains a filter, and this is actually a polarizer. It's not an ND filter, it's a polarizer. A polarizer is very important if you want to shoot cars, because cars are basically just enormous big mirrors, and you can get rid of a lot of the reflections if you use a polarizer on your camera. In my case, I have a 77mm polarizer, because most of my lenses are actually 77mm. Speaking like of the filter thread, all of my lenses are 77 except for the 50mm and this. Going even lower in the middle section, we have, I'm not gonna pull this out because it's very hard to get back in. It's basically just like cleaning stuff. I have a little blower right here which you can use to dust off. That looks a bit wrong, but okay, I have to put it out now. It's like this, and you just can use it to blow stuff off your lens or off your sensor without scratching it or touching it. And in here, in this little bag, I have microfiber cloth and some window cleaner. Just everything you would need to clean your lens on the go. I wouldn't recommend cleaning your sensor while you're not at home, because that's something that can really screw up your camera if something goes wrong. For that, I really take my time and do it at home, but just giving a lens a quick cleanup is something you can do on the go as well. Going to the right department right here, we have 2 lenses. This one is one of my favorite lenses, if not one of, yeah, maybe it's the favorite lens. Yeah, no, it's one of the favorite lenses for car photography. This is an 85mm from a brand called Samyang. I think they are known for making cinema glass, like for video production. I'm not too sure about how long they are like known for photography lenses, but they produced this 85mm for Canon, which goes all the way up to f1.4, which is a really wide open aperture, and it only costs around 600 bucks. Now, don't get me wrong, 600 bucks is a lot of money. But if you think about what you can pay for camera lenses in general, like you can easily pay up to maybe even 3,000 bucks per lens, 600 is actually a really good deal. And 85 is just a very nice focal length overall. Below the 85 we have another lens which I've bought just recently, like 3 to 4 months ago. And it's a 35mm from Sigma. This is a lens which is known as a also not so expensive but really good lens. As I've already said, it's a 35mm and it goes up to all the way to 1.4, like f1.4. And as I've already said, it's an 35mm. So this is what I will use in tight conditions, like if I'm shooting in the pit lane, for example, or if I'm shooting casts in a garage and everything, then I'll be using my 35. So while we are talking lenses, I also have a 24-70 f2.8 from Canon. This is the one I'm currently filming on, so that's what you are seeing all of this through at the moment. And that's also the reason why I have a big gap here, because this is where my Canon EOS R5 would usually be. But I'm currently filming with the R5, so it's obviously not in my bag. Next to the R5 I have my 6D. Now the 6D really became just my emergency backup camera. I'm not using this anymore. It's still a pretty good camera and I have a lot of memories which I connect to this camera, because this was my first full frame I've ever bought. And yeah, it's pretty solid, and you can tell that it has been through quite a lot. It has a little scratch right here. And yeah, I've shot a lot of photos on this, and I would say that this was my start into more like professional photography. But I've just recently talked to a friend of mine and he wants to buy this. And I will sell this camera, even though it's not easy for me because there's a lot of memories attached to it, but I'm going to sell it anyways because it still gets a good price, and I can then swap it for something like an EOS RP, which is a pretty good camera, especially because I want to use it for like vlogging, and the 6D isn't that good of a vlog camera, but the RP is. But yeah, it's still a very good camera for photography, but I'm going to sell it to a good friend. And here we have two things actually. This is, I don't know what it's called, it's also from Low Pro, as you can see right here. If my autofocus wants to pick it up. Hello? Yeah, thanks bud. You can see that this is also from Lower Pro. I don't know what it's called, I think it's called Gear Wrap or something, or Wrap. Yeah, something with wrap. I will just show it with the text. And in here I have everything that I need for a quick edit, which is my Samsung T5 Ssd right here. This is just a very small USB-C 1TB SSD. It's really fast, really small and reliable, and I use this as a cache drive, which means that when I'm coming home to my PC, or when I'm editing like on my laptop, when I'm moving, I will just throw everything from all of my cameras, which is like the 6D, the R5 and the GoPro. I will throw everything on the T5, edit on there, like, because it's a pretty fast drive, and then I'm going to dump everything from the SSD to my backup drive, which is this right here. I obviously don't have this in my bag because it's a backup drive. I don't need to carry it with me. If there's anything I want to carry with me in regards of data for like a business meeting, for example, I will just copy it to the SSD and use this because it's way smaller, way lighter, and yeah. These drives are really common in the world of photography and cinematography. They are called lacy rugged drives. They are surrounded with this like rubber things, so you can technically drop them without anything happened. I still wouldn't recommend it, but they are really built like a tank. And this one is 5 terabytes in capacity, which lasts for around, yeah, like half a year in my case, which is pretty good. Then I also have some cables in here. I have a C to C cable, like USB-C to USB-C 3.0 or like 3.1, I don't know, like it's a fast one, okay? Over here we have another one, but this is actually USB-C to USB-A, because you still need a USB-A port from time to time. And also in here you will find a little dongle which connects an SD card, a micro SD or full-size SD, to a USB-C device. I use this when I'm editing photos on the run on an iPad, for example, then this is very handy. And I also have this little thing right here, which is just a little case for business cards. Yeah. Let's pack it back up, throw it in here. Then there's also this little thing. Now, it might seem a bit weird to you in the first moment, but this is my notebook. Autofocus, could you here, man? Yeah, thanks. I have always loved the people who use notebooks, because I'm always like, you have a phone, you can just write it down there. But there's actually something about writing it with your own hand. It just feels different, and you interact different with a book than you do with your phone. And actually, I write down some ideas in this when it comes to like shoots, or I write down what I have to pack so I don't forget anything. And when I'm really bored, I'm just like drawing shit. This isn't good at all, but it's just something I can do when I'm waiting for anything. Alright, that's it for my bag. Except for, oh no, I forgot something. Just some small things. Up here I have 2 spare Canon batteries. Nothing special about those. Yeah, that's it. So, let's close the bag down, so I can show you what I'm using in addition to the things in my bag. You've been seeing some of the things I use except for the things in my bag in the frame for the entire time. I'm starting here. Like, honestly, this lens it's just a beast. It's the good old, big, heavy 70-200 f2.8 LIS USM. This means it has an ultrasonic focus motor, which will allow you to get a really fast autofocus. It's stabilized and it goes down to f2.8, which is like the best you can get on a 70-200 currently. I have heard that Sigma, I think it was, works on a 70-200 with a bigger aperture, but currently, as far as I know, f2.8 is the best thing you can have in such a zoom lens. I will be using this lens always when I'm going on the racetrack, because it's just the perfect lens to have there. If you go down to 70mm, you can get things which are a bit closer, but you can also zoom all the way to 200mm, and you can get cars which are pretty far away, and that's just awesome to have. Plus you can get this one used for $800, which is a really good price. Oh, and also this lens, guess how old it is? It's 13 years old. 13 years, and it's still working great. And this lens is still something a lot of press photographers use, and it's also being used in the cinematography world. So yeah, it's a really solid lens, and it's also built like a tank. You can do everything. If it's pouring rain outside and I have to shoot, I would always go for the 70-200, because I know it can survive it and it will take it, and it doesn't care. It just doesn't care at all. And then on to the last thing which I'm going to show you today, which is my Gopro Hero8 Black. There's nothing special about it, it's just a regular Gopro Hero8. It currently has my chest mount strapped to it, so this is what I'm using for my POV videos. If you wanna do POV photography videos too, or generally speaking some POV videos which aren't like really sport related, I would really recommend you to get a chest strap too, because with a head strap you just look really ridiculous. And the chest strap is way better. It still looks a bit ridiculous, but you're not looking that weird. And also I've taken off the side thing right here where the battery is, so I can plug in my my power bank right there. Alright guys, that has been it. You've seen everything that is in my bag that I use on a day-to-day basis. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave some comments down below to tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, so I can improve. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram to see what type of shots I actually get with all the things I've just showed you. And with all that said and done, have a great day. See you in the next one.